Okay, so very good afternoon, sir. I'm Aditya.
Myself, Priyanshi.
And so, how are you, sir? After coming back to the college after so long, how are you feeling?
Oh, so I'm coming after 15 years after graduating in 2008. This is the first time I'm visiting the campus, and it has changed a lot. But the feeling is the same. I still feel that nostalgic when I entered through that main gate, because that still reminds me of my college days.
Sir. Any college incidents that you remember while coming to the college?
Oh, college instance. Well, like that time I remember ragging. Oh, that was a thing. Yes. So it was not that ragging, but just getting to know your seniors, right? So you have to follow some instructions, you follow the rules, you don't break the rules, and you have to wear a certain dress code, those sort of things. So I still remember that. I still have that fresh memory. It was fun because that's how we interacted with our seniors. Like that's how they approached us. So yeah.
Can you tell us some of them?
One of that.
So I remember for the IT batch, I don't know how many of you are from IT, but there was a dress code that you have to wear a white shirt and your third button from the top should be a red button, because that indicated IT. And if it is a green button, it was electronics, or yellow for computers. So that's how we got distinguished or differentiated between different branches. And anyone other branches can really identify you that, okay, you are from IT. Let's talk about IT. You are from computers, from electronics. So that was the first thing that I just remembered as soon as I entered the college building.
Wow, sir.
Things have changed for sure now, but yeah, it was fun.
We are really
It was
very
all in
thankful
humor.
for that.
It was all fun, all good learnings, networking.
Okay. So definitely there are some new teachers too, but at that time there are some old teachers. So if you could swap places with any professor for a day, who would it be and why?
Oh, well, I'm going to be punished for this one. But I would say my IT HOD at that time. Do you have your same HOD, KK Agarwal sir, this time, or?
No, I guess it's changed.
Yeah. So yeah, amazing guy, amazing human being, and he has plethora of knowledge. But there are certain things I would like to change for sure, because of course, young blood, I want to do something else, right? So we used to have this thing in between our group of friends that what do you want to do? Like, I want to be the HOD because this is something I don't like. I don't like the way things are going. I want to be more fast-paced, or I want to have some more practical knowledge, less of theory, like all those things when you are just into the college and you try to do everything at once. So you're very, very fast-paced at that time. And sometimes you feel that, okay, it's very slow pace for me. Those sort of things, which really doesn't mean anything now, but it was a big deal at that time.
Okay, sir. So, what do you feel you owe your problem-solving skills to?
I owe to
Yeah.
few things. One is that always open to change. Always open to change, because if you have to change your perspective always when solving a problem. So if, let's say, you are in an industry, just try to look outside of the industry to solve the problem, because sometimes the problems are very, very generic and it's industry agnostic. So you have to look outside of industries. And the second thing I would say is experience. Most of the things comes with experience. So the way I solve problems today, I couldn't have done right out of the college, because I did not have that experience.
Yeah.
So I think these two things for sure, yes.
So, sir, if college were a movie, what would its tagline according to you?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
An interesting one too.
It is. Do you have some options?
Well, that's totally up to you. What kind of movies you watched at that time?
Like old movies, but new at that time. I don't want to. So do you want me to just give a movie name or any tagline?
A tagline.
Tagline.
I would say Jile Jara. Like that is the first
That's
tagline that
true.
came to my mind.
Yeah.
Was pretty convincing, I guess. Okay, so what's the craziest bet or dare you witnessed someone take on during your college days? I'm really interested about this question.
Wow. So I witnessed or I took?
You witnessed or you took?
Or you took.
Oh. Well, the craziest bet. Well, people will call out my name after this one. I need to. Maybe I shouldn't really go that far. I need to be very mindful.
Yes,
So what I witnessed was bursting crackers. Like that was a big deal at that time within the college, right? You can get investigated for that.
In the washrooms,
sir?
right?
Yeah,
At the
not even in the
device.
washrooms, even in the classrooms. Like that was one of the. Yeah, you want to say something? You want to add?
I did something like that in my school time.
Yeah, so I witnessed that in the school time and I witnessed that in the college as well. And yeah, I think making like pranks, that was a big time thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Any prank that you can share.
so I remember that once. So I was a fresher and I told you all about that whole ragging scenario.
Yeah.
So there was this friend of mine who joined with me, but he was a big bulky guy. So you cannot really see him and figure out that he is a fresher. So we thought that okay, let's go into a classroom and let's try to pretend we are seniors and just try to like take some introductions in a nicer language, not ragging but introductions. So we went in one of the classrooms and he was like, seniors are here, why don't you stand up? And everyone's like so afraid. And I was like laughing that people are really listening to us as if we are seniors, and we were not. That was one funny thing, and that happened like second or third day of the college.
Okay.
We were like, okay, we are feeling good about it.
It happens pretty too, sir. I mean, I remember when the now second year, when they come at their first day, they thought that I was in first year. And they pretended to be third or fourth year of senior, and they tried to take introduction of mine. That didn't get pretty well for them.
Were they successful or were they not successful?
Definitely not.
Good.
Okay, so I mean, really sorry for this question, but you started your masters after 12 years of your bachelor's, or did it take 12 years for you to realize that now I want to do masters?
So I did not take 12 years. It took me 2 years to decide. So because I was changing industries, I was changing roles, I was changing even countries.
Yeah.
So I had a lot on my plate at that time, and I knew that I wanted to do it, but I was also very sure that what I did not really, what I'm interested, because it was an open field at that time. I was still figuring out what do I need to do, but I was absolutely clear on what do I don't need to do in that, because I had certain things in my mind. Okay, analytics, something I'm really interested in because it's a growing thing, but I was not really getting that suitable course for me. At the same time, there was this general MBA which I knew that I had never wanted to do it, so I avoided that. So when I moved to Canada, I figured out, okay, there is a college that is providing all that I want, and at the same time I can do my full-time job as well. So it was a full-time course and full-time job. I said, okay, it's going to be a very tough year for me because I need to commit a lot of time on my studies and still do a full-time job. But it took me at least 2 years to see through and see if I will be able to manage it or not. And when I was able to convince myself, and I took a step that, okay, that's it, now I'm doing it right now, or I will not be able to do it after a couple of years. So that's when I decided, okay, let's try to. And of course, my wife also played a big part. She motivated me a lot because so I motivated her when she wanted to do her masters. So I took a back seat at that time, and we decided that she's going to do it. And then this time she pushed me that, okay, now this is the right time for you to do it. So it was more of a collective decision that, okay, let's go ahead with it.
So
So, sir, you have recently graduated with yet another degree in MMA, right? So, what is your inspiration behind opting for newer experience over job stability?
So it's a job stability is a myth. Regardless of whether you are in the company for 2 years or 20 years, whether you are with the technology, doing it at 2 years, 20 years again, because your company is just your company, right? So you have to develop your own skill set, and it has to be a diverse skill set for sure. So that is one thing, and another thing is that once you are in the industry for more than 10 to 15 years, it's okay to take risk because you have certain securities around it, and even if your risk does not pay off, you have a fallback plan. So that is more important, to have a fallback plan, right? So I did my masters, but the kind of work I am doing, it is related to it, but it's not 100%. But whatever time I have outside of my office hours, I try to dedicate some time to do my own stuff, whether it's writing or researching or anything on whatever I have done. But as I said during our interaction, that learning is a necessity now. It's not a luxury. And at least personally, what I feel is that if I'm not learning daily, I'm not pushing myself enough. So I just want to learn for how much long I can. That's how I feel about it.
That's really nice, sir.
And sir, having worked in several different roles in a wide array of industry fields, which role do you seem as the best fit?
There is no one size fit all over here. It all depends upon the number of years of experience you have, what suits you at what particular time. Because when you start, regardless of whatever the role is, you just want to get into the industry. You want to work. That is your priority, right? But after 3, 4, 5 years, you realize that, okay, now you've established yourself, you have reputation, you're doing good work. Now you want to upskill yourself or you want to reskill yourself. So you can approach to your manager and say that, you know what, I have done a lot of good work. Now I want to move into a different role or different technology. So you evolve at that time. Your priorities change with time, right? So every time you do that self-analysis, that's when you realize that, okay, now is the time to move on and experiment with a new role or new tool or new technology. So it's all relative. So you can't really plan for next 15 years. Just try to plan it for next 2 years, next 3 years, next 5 years. And it's all iterative process.
Okay. So, sir, what's the most bizarre or hilarious rumor you heard circulating around campus?
Oh.
Please tell us apart from ghost stories.
No, there's no ghost stories. I don't know whether it was real or not. Sometime, I think I was in first year, second year, I heard a rumor that people have started bringing guns in the college. I was like, really? That's bizarre.
Wow.
It can't happen, right?
Now I'm scared.
Like, at your own risk.
I'm really scared. Okay, so you mentioned the importance of not reinventing the wheel. How do you determine when it's appropriate to leverage existing solutions versus building new ones?
So a lot of factors play that role. First is time sensitivity, and of course, quote unquote budget. Do you really have that time? Is your project leader giving you enough time and enough money to start from scratch every time? Or is there even a necessity? Is there even a business case to start from scratch? Because nowadays, generally what happens is people really heavily rely on reusability, that you build your solutions in sort of a layering, it's a layer cake, right? You build your base layer, which is very much platform agnostic, and on top of that, you customize your solutions so that tomorrow, if you are creating or developing a new product, you can still reuse that base layer and only work on the customizations, because that is going to save a lot of time, a lot of money, right? And it will also bring in some sort of consistency within your services, within your products. But if you have all the time and all the money, then of course you can do a lot more new things. You can try, you can fail a lot of times. Theoretically it's possible, but practically is the way industries work. You also have to deliver in short span of time. So it's always a balance you have to make, whether you want to invest time upfront or you want to just build something in short span of time and then iteratively build over and improve your customer experience.
Okay. So, sir, if you could give your college a mascot a makeover, what would it look like?
Why do you want me to? You are just getting me into trouble now. What is the current mascot? Tell me that.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Yes. Okay, so can you recall particularly odd or amusing campus event or competition?
I think that time when we started, like that year, that college fest, yearly fest, Renaissance, right? Yeah. So in that there was always this Bhangra group, and no matter how many teams participate in that, they always came first in every round, in every show they participate, and that was pretty amazing because for straight 4 years at least I witnessed that, and a lot of my friends, they were part of that group, and I know how hard they would practice on that. So yeah, it was truly amazing. Yeah, now I'm going back into the memory lanes and thinking about it. That Renaissance was an experience. Like for 1 week, you just have.
Nowadays, we also have a college group in our college, which do the same Bhangra and kind of things. Yeah.
Nice.
So, based on your industry experience, is there any industry that you feel hasn't been exploited much in terms of innovation, right? And has a lot of potential moving forward?
Yes, definitely a lot of industries, because some industries are heavily regulated, and when you have regulations in place, it's very tough to innovate. Till the time you have a moonshot idea which can transform things at a large scale, you cannot. So one of the industries, my industry, what I'm working on is insurance industry. So that is one of the most heavily regulated industries. So there are certain timelines, there are a lot of financial and legal and compliance aspects you have in. And whenever you have such regulations, innovations sometimes take a backseat unless you come up with such a solution which is going to satisfy all of the stakeholders. And that is what we are trying to do now. We are just challenging the status quo, that if some things were happening in a certain way 5 years back, why those things are happening now? Is there a way to improve it? Is there a way to maybe be more efficient, or reduce your whole turnaround time, or increase your process efficiencies? Why there are so much of strict rules around compliance and regulations? Can we challenge those? So those are the kind of questions we ask ourselves, and then prepare the whole business case around it, that we feel that we can do it. And then it is up to the stakeholders to really challenge the regulators and say that, okay, why are we doing this? Is there a better way to do this? So most of the times what we realize is that till the time you don't ask the questions, nobody's going to solve for you. So you just have to put your whys in front of them, that why do you think that we have to do it in a particular way? Can we change it? Why or why can't? So till the time they are able to not provide a proper justification on whys, you can take a shot at it, right? So it's all about asking the right question and to right stakeholder.
Okay, so sir, now let's end this interview with one last question, and you have to answer this
just
honestly.
Okay, so
okay,
I was honest all the time. Okay, I wasn't faking.
Still, sir. Okay, so the final question we have for you is, did you have a signature dance move that was your go-to at parties apart from Bhangra?
Why apart from Bhangra?
Because that we know, sir. You already said in the previous questions that you were pretty good at it.
Yeah, so
You must have done something else too.
let me think. It's been a while I haven't been to parties, okay?
Oh,
And
Join us for a day.
sure,
yeah, definitely.
when is the next Vernissa? I'm going to join the next Vernissa for sure.
It's around in May, I guess.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
Okay.